Welcome everyone to the Super Metroid Any Percent Tournament. Losers round 3. We got a really good race today. I cannot stress how great this is going to be. We got Feral versus ARC. And this tournament is sponsored by Vi.gg. You can exclamation point bet legal age and resident. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Both players have 43s and both players are top tier. So Matrix, my co-commentator, what do you think about this race to come?
Well, I'm pretty excited, to be honest. Both of them, like you said, they're pretty comparable in skill level, and to be honest, I'm just hoping they both live past Fantoon and they both perform, to their own satisfaction. And if they do that, I think all of us as viewers are gonna enjoy this a lot.
This race is going to be one of the close. If they can get Fantoon and we don't see like any major screw ups or a death, this could potentially be one of the tightest races, in my opinion, that we see. We know Cutie's very consistent, and we know Feral can pull off some good times. So I'm really excited for this one. I'm glad I got out of my final in time to be here.
Feels good.
Yeah, and it went well too. So I'm hoping these races will go just as well. Because if that's the case, we're going to see some pretty good times here, and as you know, it should be pretty tight too. I have I have a lot of faith in both runners.
Yep, they're both some of the best again in that really that top echelon of runners. So good luck to both. It looks like they're going to be starting soon.
Right on time, and it looks like they're almost dead synced coming into Series Station.
I can't believe that sync. I agree.
I told you it was going to be a close race. I bet you their series times are going to be with I'm going to say they both get like 44s. I'm going to say they both half a second of each other on the way out.
I'm gonna say Feral. I'm gonna give him a high 45. Actually, I've got a good feeling that he's been pretty consistent, running a little bit of a new route recently, and I think he's shaking a lot of rust off.
They definitely both
can
pull off a time like that. What's up?
The real question: who do you think? Do you think that the series winner will win the race? Yes or no?
That's pretty much a 50-50 shot because really Series Station doesn't really matter. But I think I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, but it's a complete guess because the Series Station will not. It shouldn't determine who wins, but one of them's going to win series, so, and one of them's going to win the match. It's unfortunate it's in the losers round too. I mean, both of these runners could easily take the tournament, but unfortunately only one will survive this match.
Yeah, that is true. Last match, I did have the pleasure of, basically extending good luck to both runners and hoping that we see them again. But again, these runners are playing for everything. It's all on the line here. So.
Yeah, that's true. And I believe the winner faced Zost, right? Because Zost lost the previous match. I think they have to face Zost. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, and I'm not sure if Oats and Goats is still in it as well, because I believe
it could be Oats.
bracket. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think Oats just had to miss his first match, so he forfeited by default. So definitely going to want to be here to see the losers bracket finish out, because the winner of those matches are going to face Kip in the grand finals.
Insane. And Cutie actually has a lead here because Cutie pulled off a 46 in series, whereas Feral had a 45. So, but Feral should make up a lot of time here. Nice moonfall.
And I'm not sure, is Cutie in America?
My guess would say yes, but that's just a guess. I'm pretty sure Feral's from the Great Britain area.
Yep, he's in the northern UK, and so he's going to be at least 7 or 8 hours ahead of at least my time zone. Probably about 6 to 7 hours ahead of Eastern time. So just depending on how well rested he is, that that may or may not factor into how he performs tonight.
Yeah, and I give a lot of credit to the runners from that area of the world because they have to put up with a lot for scheduling. The times for most runners is going to be like Eastern time, at night, which is basically like really early in the morning for a lot of these British runners and other runners from Western Europe. So, huge props to Feral for being able to do this race.
Yep, and both runners sticking pretty close to each other. Again, there's really not much difference, just a little bit of movement strats here and there on this early.
Yeah, you're going to see ARC has some of the best consistency that you'll find in the entire tournament. So early game, I wouldn't be surprised if Cutie had the lead going, into power bombs because just early game. I mean, Feral's got great early game too, but the consistency you'll see from ARC is just insane. But as I say it, commentators curse. Well, they're both failing up the climb a little bit here. But Cutie still makes it to the top first, but a little bit of time gained back from Feral. And now they're synced.
Question.
What's up?
They are synced. That's sync, ladies and gentlemen. So I had a quick question. So given these two runners and where they're at, kind of at the same caliber, if you're Feral or if you're Cutie, how do you take Fantoon? Do you go for the 2-round with the Doppler, just try to nail him, or do you take it a little bit safer?
I see if I were running and I knew I'm going up against someone that has the same kind of time that I do and the same kind of skill level, I'd be going for an all out. Honestly, I'd be going for PB strats, but honestly, the risk in Mario 64, which is the game that I run, it's really if you die, you only lose like 20 seconds. But if you die in Fantoon, you basically lose the race unless your opponent does as well. So the risk reward is a little bit different here. So I wouldn't be surprised if either runner played it safe and went for a nice 3-round. But depending on RNG, they could still save or lose time over their opponent.
That is true. You can, I believe it is possible to have a 3-round even be faster than like a slow 2-round. So
I think a fast is faster than a slow, or it's pretty close to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll just have to kind of buckle our seatbelts and see what happens here.
Yeah, Fantoon should be about well, depending on how good the early game, it should be about 5 minutes from now. About 5 minutes we should be, seeing Fantoon, and that's gonna be a huge turning point in this race. But definitely not the end of it. Lower Norfair is a huge dangerous part and a part where you can lose a lot of time, as well as parts of Meridia. We can see some time loss as well.
Interestingly, Cutie went for the almost looks like he's about to run old route with the way he just damage boosted through those pirates.
I would bet on it. I would bet the ARC is going to run old route because health isn't a big factor in old route, and you can just kind of damage your way through. And ARC, I believe, got a 43 this week or last week with old route. So if you can get a 43 with old route, not only are you consistent, but you can compete with any new route runner.
Yeah, I believe there's only 3 people in the world who have a 43 in old route. Z Music was the first to get his Cutie, and I can't remember who the third, or maybe there might be even 4.
Zost has
Really?
a 43. I know that, and I know Jack did too. Jack actually took the world record for old route recently.
Yeah, Jack did recently get his 43. So yeah, if you're consistent, I mean, the strats are they're safer. So you might say that gives a little bit of an edge to Cutie if he's running a 43 old route, and those kind of strats do just tend to be a little bit more consistent. So I don't know if you agree or not.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think other than Zost, we haven't seen better than a 45 new route, and a lot of them have been Monka S. So if even Cutie plays within a minute of a 43, that could potentially be a victory there. We're seeing already a nice early game advantage, even though, I mean, you can say that the route's 2 minutes faster for new route, but that's only if you execute it well. So, I mean, we're already seeing Feral, you know, drop some spaghetti here and there.
Yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see. Be interesting to see what happens here. The routes are obviously diverging at this point. Um, they probably won't start to sync up again until be right around
They're bringing two.
Gold 4, right? Yeah.
Or Turian. Technically, it's Turian, but there's the thing is, Cutie. If they get to Turing, if they get to G4 at the same time, Cutie actually has the lead, and it's a big lead because. And Plasma makes the Mother Brain 2 fight 3 times as fast.
Yeah, that is true. It is doing quite a bit more damage, so you only need to get 20 shots off instead of, is it 60 with the Spazer Ice charge wave comp?
In new route, it's 60, and in old route or classic route, I should call it classic route because I mean it's old, but it's a goodie. But yeah, 20 shots. So it's 1/3 of the shots. So, and Cutie on some really nice pace here. This is really exciting. Feral on good pace as well, but hard tricks in new route. You know, gonna have to maintain. Basically, I would say gonna have to go for a pretty good Phantoon as well. Not set up for the CWJ either. Nice quick kill from Cutie.
Hopefully he gets the bomb jump here, horizontal, which. As we were talking about in the last race, some runners even consider that to be a harder trick to pull off than the CWJ, interestingly enough.
I'll tell you something, Matrix. As a casual player, when I first attempted to skip that moat without the grapple beam or the speed booster, it took me 2 hours. 2 hours to get the horizontal bomb jump in one try. You know how long it took me to get CWJ? 2 tries.
Oh wow, I was gonna say 5 minutes, but I sold you too short. So.
It may be harder, but I feel like the CWJ is more consistent. I mean, all you got to do is hit a frame perfect input and then a 2-frame window. So it's really hard, but at the same time, it's consistent. You know, whereas I feel like the horizontal bomb jump can be a little more iffy, especially in a race.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. All right, chat, get your bless RNGs out. Feral is in his Phantoon fight. We're hoping for fast. Phantoon being the most RNG-heavy boss in the game.
Yeah, this is where new route is. That was a fast right there, I think.
A nice fast and a beautiful air Doppler.
So Feral really could save a lot of time here over Cutie just by executing this boss fight really well. Looks like gonna get a fast slow. Let's see how it works.
I think he knows he doesn't have much to put in him. Oh, he does miss the last super. Unfortunate. Hopefully he can pick up from these flames.
He might have to go for Dopplers to kill. I don't know if he's got a super to finish him off. Oh, there's a super there. Can he get it?
I think he's just got to wait for him to come back, and he's able to finish. 7 health. Wow. That is pretty monka.
That was some great RNG on that drop. That super drop there, that's a tier 2 drop from an enemy that doesn't have to drop, you know, like an item like super missiles. That is very good RNG, and that pretty much saved the run for him there because he could have easily died. But he has no supers leading Phantoon because he was in critical health. He's going to get health bombs, so now he's got no supers. He's only got 1 power bomb. That's horrible. That's very, very, very scary to work with.
It is very unfortunate, and he is going to want to try and get as many supers as possible because he's got the Ridley fight coming up next. It certainly is possible that we've seen some runners take Crate second as a little bit of a safety strat, and there is a better super farm there. So we'll see what he does.
Yeah, I mean,
second, I believe it's about a 12-second difference done optimally. So
I think Feral at this point, you know, the Phantoon could have been way worse. So I think with the time that the route saves, Feral can afford that 12 seconds, and really is going to need to be able to have as many supers as possible because even though you get that pack there, I mean, Mini Kraid gives you 3 or 4 supers just by killing him, and you kill him twice. So you're pretty much going to have pretty much max supers when you leave Kraid. Unfortunately, those 0 power bombs is going to come, you know, and going to lower Norfair first with 0 power bombs is just, they're really, I don't see how you can do it. You're going to get stuck when you'll have to get the power bombs as shame, even if you make it that far.
There is one possibility is he could, depending on if he decides to pick up the Kraid E-Tank again, you know, race strats. You
Oh,
have an
of course.
idea of what you're going to do before the match, but you know, as you get going, you adapt. So he might be able to pick up the Kraid E-Tank and the frogs there and get some extra power bombs, just depending on the drops he's
Yeah,
got. So
I think he's gonna have to. He could obviously the room before Lava Spark too. You can get power bombs there, but you're gonna, you know, you probably need more than one entering that room, especially considering you need a power bomb to open that door. But I would say overall it would probably be the time it would take to kill those enemies without the power bomb. I would say he really should just go for Kraid first at this point. You know, with that ammo,
agreed.
and his opponent's not running new route. You know, I mean, yeah, Cutie's executing room after room flawlessly, but at the same time, still have, you know, even at this point, probably a minute to work with. Like, I would, I would give up, you know, a couple seconds here or there to make sure that you don't die in Null or Norfair.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you there. And I think it is possible for Kraid to drop power bombs, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially if you do like it can be fast to collect all of his stuff if you do like the damage boost strat that Behemoth does. I think most runners do that, but even if you take your time there, you know, and just kind of like run through them, you could probably get a couple power bombs out of that and not lose any time.
Well, that is good news for Feral. He did have a pretty decent fan tune, just given that it's a race. Obviously, if you're going for PB attempts, you're resetting at fan tune all the time. But you know, given the gravity of the situation, no pun intended, I think he did pretty well.
That was a good pun there.
I really didn't intend that, but you know, I'll take it. So, Cutie
Rex,
making his way up.
yeah, Cuties. We usually don't see a high. We usually see a high five from the runners down in the like where the tunnels are. But Cutie flying up the red tower on really good old route pace is honestly probably only like a little bit behind. I definitely, if you don't account for the route difference, probably definitely ahead for Cutie. Commentator curse, of course. Now you know Cutie gonna have a little hard time, a lot of hard time with this climb up the red tower. Couldn't quite get the
Hopefully,
ledge
he can
grab
nail
there.
it on this last one here.
Yeah,
There he goes.
yeah. You know, part of running, you know, more consistent routes is, you know, yes, it's harder to make mistakes, but at the same time, you can't afford to make as many of those mistakes because you have the time difference between the routes. But Feral making mistakes here and there too. A lot of spaghetti droppage in that segment there. But overall, really good ARC. Probably still on 44 pace, which could be enough to take the W. So we're gonna see ARC go for Antoon, and with that item collection in Norfair has not only the wave beam to do X factors with on Fantoon, but also has the speed booster to make the moat cross much easier than we see in New Route.
Yeah, and that is one saving grace for Feral that he was able to get across first try, basically. So, seeing wrecked ship in old route is pretty cool. There are some. He did miss the ocean fly. Oh, that's too bad. But there are some pretty amazing strats that are really fun to watch with speed booster and having the extra safety with various suit.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool strats with the speed booster that we're going to see that Feral did not get to execute because Feral isn't going to have the speed booster until until he collects it, which he's in the area. I mean, he's in the part of the route where you do collect it, but at the same time, he didn't have it for the first, you know, little detour to Fantoon. So we're going to see ARC here. See, like that speed ball there. Look at that. That's the speed booster in action right there.
It's pretty crisp movement. You can blow away blocks that normally require you to bomb away, and pretty tight short charge there, and looks pretty swagged as well. Let's get our bless RNG for Cutie.
I heard someone whisper "Bless RNG." I don't know if Cutie's mic's on or.
That was
Oh,
my
but either way,
wife
definitely Bless RNG.
helping. That was my wife helping me co-commentate.
Oh, okay, cool.
So thanks, Mrs.
Cool.
Matrix. Shout outs. Looks like you did get a mid pattern there.
That was a very awesome fight. Not only landed the X Factor, but nice. Like I think that was a two. It had to have been a 2-round. Got the X Factor and pretty much just a couple missiles and a super, and that was it.
Yeah, and like you said, Cutie showing his consistency again. Not going down easy.
Yeah, definitely saved probably about like 20 seconds over Feral on that Phantoon fight alone. I want to take this moment to shout out our sponsor for this tournament, Vi.gg. There's a cool promotion they're doing where you can bet on the runners if you're legal age and residence. For the link to that, you can type !bet in the chat and definitely bet if you definitely want to and you were able to. It's a fun experience. I can't say so myself because I'm not in a legal country, but I'm old enough, so when it becomes legal, it's definitely something I intend to do. It's gonna be very fun.
Thankfully, there is no legal limit to playing Super Metroid, so if you're looking for a good game to pick up, this is definitely a class.
Yeah, and we saw some really cool speed booster strats in the attic there from ARC that we didn't get to see Feral do because Feral didn't have the speed booster. But ARC, we saw that nice little blue suit thingy where I don't know what it's called, but you basically have the blue suit from running with the speed booster, and you can I think it's called like a sky jump or something where you like jump really high and the blue suit just kills anything it touches.
Yep, so what's happening there is the game is just checking only on certain frames to see if you have the run button held down, and if you have that button held down during that frame, it kind of increments that little counter, and after you reach 4, it will give you blue suit, which is an amazing thing. It basically makes Samus invulnerable, and any enemy that touches it gets a nice taste of sweet hot death. So there's some really cool tricks you can do to manipulate that tech, and up in the attic, as you saw there, is one of the really swaggy looking strats.
Yeah, and another cool thing about what you said is that you're normally, if you just hold B, it takes a lot more space to get blue suit, which you also need blue suit to do shine sparks with, which is really important. So by utilizing that tap maneuver to counter or to increase the counter, you can actually do short charges. You can do charges blue suit in a shorter amount of space. And the reason I'm segueing into this is because Feral's about to try one right now. Well, you can't get a speed booster here, but in order to Lava Spark, you need it. Does Feral get the strat?
Yes, he gets it.
That is
very
huge.
Nice.
That is one of the cool. That is actually my favorite strat to watch in the entire game.
Yeah, that's probably arguably one of the tightest short charges in the game, right up there with the short charge at Mother Brain, like in a low percent speed setting.
Oh, yep. And there's also the fast pillars coming up. This one, if you don't open the door, we're actually gonna see it right here. This is like the same length here.
Yeah, and you're doing it through a door, which it kind of messes with your internal timer a little bit. So you really have got to be really sharp on those visual cues. And he did it just perfect.
Yeah, this is a really good stretch from Feral here. Getting through the worst room of the game. Yep. Nice. Really nice stretch from Feral.
The worst room in the game, ironically, is again one of those ones that's probably one of my top favorites to watch when it's just done pristinely. And it seems like if anything goes wrong in that room, everything goes wrong.
And Cutie with some cool movement getting into Meridia. That's old route movement specifically, because in new route you actually have the cage open ahead of time. But Cutie gonna be going through Meridia first. So this is where we're going to see Batoon, Dragon, and the Plasma Beam come into play.
Some good dodges there from Feral getting past those key hunters. He had a pretty narrow escape there, and that was another, actually, a pretty tight short charge that he was able to carry the charge in and kill 2 of those key hunters, reducing the lag quite a bit in that run.
Yeah, that's another cool strat. And we're gonna see a cool strat from the X Factor here with Cutie. Some people run around, some people use an audio cue.
Feral just having a bit of trouble with those pirates, but very well executed by Cutie.
Yeah, it's better to reset that room if you fail it the first time.
Getting through those ninja pirates, no problem the second time. Let's see, he's got about 193 health. He'll probably have a little bit of farm here as he goes into Ridley. Does get 9 supers there, so he's in pretty good shape. Cutie going for the full half heat trick here.
Got it. Man, Cutie pulling out the strats today. Feral too, but I told you this would be a good match.
I know we keep saying this, but again, that's probably the tightest short charge in the game. I don't know how many times we've said that so far, but that's just the kind of game that this is.
Well, the short charge, getting the charge isn't that tight, but what's tight is the fact that you only have the charge for so long before it goes away. So you have to like climb and do a ledge grab. You have to be really quick to get up there, and you have to be able to get high enough to dodge that one ledge there, and that's really hard because you're about to lose the charge, and you actually have to get the charge off. That strat was originally thought to be TAS only because they thought only TAS could get up there quick enough. But people grinded it, so.
Yeah, memory escapes me on who was the first human to get it, but definitely the runners are glad that they found a consistent setup to get up there.
Yeah, that strat basically made, I would say that strat made 41 possible. Although I think that I don't think people had a 40. I don't even know if New Route existed back when that strat was discovered, but so at the time that probably would have made 43 possible. But Cutie getting the space jump, that's going to make the entrance to Ridley pretty much free, and it's going to make getting the plasma beam really fast too.
Feral finishing up his Ridley fight and getting some decent health, so he should be able to get out of Lower Norfair without too many issues.
It's a good situation for Feral. Only 2 supers, but honestly, that's good enough for a race setting. Power bombs aren't an issue. Having 5's good. He's gonna kill a space pirate here to get some. Probably get some supers and some health. Because he didn't have the that you can get from Kraid's Lair.
Yeah, that'll come in handy for the Batoon fight, as he's gonna do Meridia lap.
Yeah. So Feral really went with the risky strat. I believe not only did he basically went right to Ridley, basically, if I'm not mistaken. There, I don't think he saved or anything.
Oh, right. Yep. I wouldn't expect to see any saving. Really, the only kind of the safe strats you might see is in New Route if somebody went Kraid first, and at Kraid you'll get a great opportunity to farm supers as well.
Yeah, we were saying that he would do that, but he basically went straight down and showed us what it takes to get a 43, I guess. So ARealCutie has the plasma beam now, and basically everything will die. Nothing stands a chance against the plasma beam. It is so overpowered, it's ridiculous. It's the most powerful thing in any video game, I would say. And what's cool about the plasma beam is that it's not only a weapon, but it also can pass through one enemy and go into another. And if you shoot an enemy with it, it'll go through the enemy and create like these blinking eye frames with it. And when an enemy is blinking, from the plasma beam, you can actually pass through it and walk right through it. So we're gonna see some really quick Lower Norfair strats utilizing the plasma beam.
Yep, you'll be able to see him getting through the key hunters in the wasteland room, which is just before a couple rooms before Ridley. He'll be clipping through them, no problem.
Yeah, I would say that Feral still has the lead due to routing, but I would say it's so close that this is probably one of the closest races I've seen ever, like between a new route and an old route runner.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you say, Feral has 2 bosses left, but he's going to be fighting them in much closer proximity. Um, I am really excited to see where the runners are at. I personally, I don't have a good gauge on who's ahead. If it is Feral, it's not by.
Yeah, but we're gonna know. Basically, you usually see you want if you're rooting for Cutie, you would want Cutie to get Ridley to be kill. You would want Cutie to kill Ridley before Feral enters Dragon. To have and then that would usually that it's close. If they're in the boss fights at the same time, then Feral would have the lead because much closer to G4, whereas Cutie's got to go all the way through Lower Norfair, Red Tower, Criteria to get back to G4. That's where the routing comes in. But if Cutie can get Ridley, get out of Ridley's lair before can get through Dragon, then I would say Cutie's in the lead.
Some really cool space jump strats here in Old Route, as you see on Cutie's screen.
Yeah, there's so much cool. I know that the new route's faster by like 2 minutes when executed well, but classic route is it's really a really cool route. You get to see a lot of cool strats that it almost looks like 2 different games. Like that little damage boost there by Cutie, and then it's gonna transition to a space jump. Like that is so fast. That's even faster than doing the lava spark.
Yeah, I believe that's the Cosmic Spark. Is that correct? Cosmic that originally found that strat.
Are you talking about the spark that to get into Lower Norfair?
Oh, sorry, not the spark, but the damage boost. The into the lava depth. Is that Cosmic or Cop Power? I feel like it's one of those two.
Well, Cop. I think it'd be Cop Power because Cop Power was a. Oh no, missing fast pillars.
Oh, that's
Cutie.
unfortunate. So that will.
Yeah.
We'll see if that makes a difference.
That might be the difference. That's like 15 seconds there at least. But I would say Cop Power found pretty much everything before Zoski started finding everything. That would be my guess, but I have no idea who founded the D-boost there.
Oh, you know what?
It does seem to be
it's another one of those K runner. I think it's Chronic. It's the Chronic boost.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, shoutouts to all the runners anyway that have grinded this game. We'll cover all our bases there. Feral is gonna have a hard time killing Batoon here. Failed to get the quick kill, but just able to get him with 1 super remaining. Gets no supers with the drops. Oh, Feral.
Oh.
Feral's gonna have to farm. Probably gonna have to do a 2 farm here. But then again,
Cutie
Feral
having a little bit of trouble as well. So I think it looks like equal parts of spaghetti on both.
I feel like Feral though. I feel like every time Cutie makes a mistake, Feral makes an equal mistake, and you got to remember Feral had had basically a worse Fantoon fight. I mean, we're gonna have to see Cutie get the power palms of shame though. So at the same time, that's about 10 seconds lost. So we'll see if Feral can get the full halfie here and stay pace with Cutie. Yep. So I'd say good. Feral's definitely in. Yeah, Feral's definitely in the lead. I guess it's just such a faster route, but because like he's in Dragon already, like it's pretty much over for him. Gone. And Cutie's still got to go kill Ridley, which is in a couple rooms, but.
And his Ridley kill will be much faster.
That's true, and the Mother Brain kill would be faster, but at the same time, it's like
it's anybody's game,
you'll see them. Yeah, they're basically in their last fight at the same time, but Cutie's fight's probably going to be... Well, actually, the Dragon kill is pretty quick, too, because Feral just did the little Rain Dancer strat there. I'd say Dragon might die first. Especially because Cutie's getting grabbed. Man, it's just hard to ignore the fact that the route is so much faster.
Yep, Feral finishing his Dragon fight, and I do think that does. Oh, he got a blue suit, but he unfortunately lost.
Okay, so that's probably gonna cost about... I think it costs like 20 seconds if you don't get like a suit of any kind, because I think that it's gonna make this escape for him a lot slower. Whereas at the same time, Cutie's got to go a lot more. But at the same time, remember the Mother Brain fight quicker for Cutie, so I wouldn't say Cutie's out of it yet. It's just hard to gauge it. I apologize to all the viewers. It's just hard to tell who's in the lead when you have two different routes. It's just... But at the same, I assure you though, it's anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, we have ourselves a really good race. Runners really just, staying in it.
Yeah, we're seeing some good strats here on both sides for their escapes. Cutie is going to be escaping Lower Norfair, going all out here, very low on health. But at this point, I think Cutie knows they've got to get it. They've got to get going. Ooh, one more hit. No, two more hits will kill at this point. But Plasma Beam, there you go. There's those iframes.
Yeah,
Cutie.
So he gets out. He's got 3 more musketeers, as we like to call them, coming up here that he's gonna have to take care.
Yeah, so Feral's gonna be pretty close. Feral's gonna be coming out to the top of the red tower here any minute, and Cutie's still got, I'd say, another minute before they get to the top of the tower. Especially, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a close finish. But I would say Feral is definitely... Feral is in the lead. They're synced up at this point, pretty much. It's the first person to get to the top of red tower.
Yeah, I think Feral definitely has a pretty definitive lead now. As you said, he had his Dragon kill before Cutie did, and Cutie's got a lot farther to go to get back.
But if Cutie had killed Ridley before he had gotten into that room, then they'd be pretty much tied at this point, which means that Cutie would have had the lead because Cutie is going to have the quicker Turian. But Cutie's not as far behind. So usually when you see 2 route difference, Cutie would still be on the Ridley fight at this point. But Cutie is having a great run, so they're actually pretty close. All Cutie has to do is get to the top of Red Tower.
Feral's going to be looking for a lot of health and especially some supers. He's got 3 of them here. He's got 2 now because he had to open the door, but every once in a while, even in any percent, those Metroids can really troll you with RNG in the drops. So hopefully he gets the supers he needs.
Yeah, because he might have to reload the room a couple times, so that could be what Cutie needs at this point, as well as a missed baby skip. Feral would have to miss baby skip. Maybe screw around with the Zebatite skip. It's hard to say. It's got to be. I didn't pay attention to when Feral hit the elevator at the top of Red Tower, but it had to have been at least a minute ago.
Yeah, it seems like I would say roughly about a minute ahead at this. Maybe a little less. Maybe
probably a minute when you adjust for the fact that Cutie's gonna have a quicker Turian.
Yeah, honestly, both runners having a pretty good race so far, at least from my perspective. Just given that it's race strats, and we'll see how they feel about it afterwards. But
yeah, probably about. It's gonna be like a raw 2 minutes, difference. Like they're actually like 2 minutes apart, but I gave it. I said about a minute because the Rather Brain fight is so much quicker with the plasma beam. So that's where I estimated that time. A very good Turian from Feral. It's gonna be hard for Cutie to win at this point. We'd have to see a death from Feral. I mean, Feral only has 3 E-tanks, so does Cutie, but Feral can't really take too much damage here unless Feral might go for the refill on the health, but I feel like Feral's just gonna go all out here and just try to secure a win. Just go all out, pretend he's on PB pace, and just go for the W.
Yeah, I think so. It's his to lose at this point. See if he does manage to recover from that baby skip. He did miss the first jump, was able to recover. So it's a little slower baby skip,
Actually,
but because he landed on the moss, he is not able to get through there.
Got to be very careful with that trick. If you get grabbed when you go through the door, basically you'll soft lock because the game will put Samus in the grab state, but there's no baby Metroid there cutscene to get you out of that state. So obviously would have lost the race for Feral, and we have seen that happen in rando races before. I mean, I've watched a lot of races and I have seen it happen before. I forget who it happened to, but I assure you it's happened several times.
Yeah, and there's another weird thing that can happen. So as long as you're not spin jumping out of that door, like if you just run out regular, the game will actually keep you in the state of, it'll keep you basically in that kind of slow speed mode, like as if you'd gotten grabbed, and you'll be able to finish the game actually. If you spin through that door, if you have, depending on how much health you have, it can actually put you in that crouching animation, and you literally are soft locked, just taking a knee until the end. But
this Turian so far by Cutie is extremely fast. I don't know how Cutie made up that much time, but I tell you, it must have been the plasma beam, or I don't know. Cutie must have just had an incredible Turian. What it looked like to me, and if Cutie gets baby skip here, this could be really close.
He does
get it.
Wow.
This might be a closer finish. This could potentially be really close. I'm not lying. I don't know how much plasma on this. Feral's already on the Mother Brain 2 fight, so ARealCutie's probably like 20 seconds from that fight.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a cutscene between Mother Brain 1 and Mother Brain 2. I still think Feral's got about 20 or 30 seconds.
Yeah,
maybe even more.
We're gonna probably have to see a fail on the escape, which could happen. We could see a goof spark or something. I don't know or we would have to see. You rarely ever see both players on Mother Brain 2 same time when they did different routes. That's how good ARealCutie is at old route.
And we've also got some pretty severe, health limitations here. One set of onion rings, or definitely one ketchup hit could be the decider as well. So anybody's
Feral
game,
getting
really.
The ketchup. This might be really close. I'm getting a little excited here. Already on ketchup, but
Yeah,
Cutie's about to be on ketchup too. I think they're safe.
Whoa.
Cutie's done first.
Cutie got the. Cutie's
God.
ahead. Cutie's ahead by like 2 seconds.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Let's get the Pog Champs, guys. Get the Pog Champ.
What is this?
Pog Champ, spam it up in the chat, guys. This is hype.
I told you Plasma Beam saved. I told you this would be a close race. I told you Plasma saved a lot of time, and oh my goodness, that Turian was
just how close. It's just synced back up. It wasn't even.
What did I say? Baby skip. I told you Feral had to get baby skip. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I've seen this happen before. I saw this happen once in a rando race where 2 people were synced on the baby Metroid, but I don't think I've ever seen an old route runner synced up with a new route runner in any percent. This is legendary.
I was looking at Cutie's screen. You could see Mother Brain's head just start to kind of elevates a little bit, and when that cutscene started. And I was pretty surprised to see a second or two
Wow,
wow,
I didn't realize it.
This is
yeah,
incredible.
I didn't realize that to save that much time. I thought Cutie would be about 10 seconds behind with a perfect Turian, but I think because Feral failed baby skip and Cutie just had like a godlike Turian, I think that's kind of what got them together here. I mean, they are like a couple frames apart. Oh my, this is insane. One
Well, it's
second
like you
apart.
said, Cutie's been playing with consistency that a lot of runners have not been able to rival in this tournament, and obviously, you know, that's proven to be the case here. So, entering the Mother Brain 3 phase, just going to be trying to plow 4 hyper beam shots into Mother Brain every jump. Both runners doing a pretty decent job so far.
Look, I think Cutie actually saved a little time. No, they had the same. It's gonna come down to the escape. This is the most insane thing I've ever witnessed on. This is one of the most insane things I've ever witnessed, especially in this category with 2 different routes. You couldn't ask for more in a winner take, not a loser go home state, not a winner take all, but
right
elimination round.
Yep, it's going to come down to escape movement. It's going to come down to steam RNG. It's going to come down to if a runner decides to save the animals or not.
No one's going to save the animals, I'll tell you that.
Kidding.
I mean, for the sake of fusion, I wish they would, but like I wish they would. Oh, like Feral missing the ledge grab there. That could be it for Feral. That could be the last that Feral will make in this tournament.
Yeah, oh. We'll see.
Oh, but he does the moonfall there. That does save time because Cutie doesn't do moonfall. So, gonna come down. Oh, Behemoth Spark for Cutie. That's the fast spark.
That is a beautiful spark. Feral getting it as well. Gosh, I think it's gonna be steam RNG.
Oh,
at this
Cutie
point.
with the bonk. Cutie with the bonk there. Yeah, I think you're right. Like those.
Get 1 steam from Cutie. 1 steam from Feral.
I think
wow.
they were synced.
I think Cutie's got it. Let's see what their times are.
Oh, we might have to
Wow.
We might have to retime this.
Yeah, this is gonna have to. I think I saw a definitive 1 second ahead.
But this might be so close.
Wow.
We might have to check to see if they were synced at the beginning.
Yeah. Yep. This is. It's gonna come down to a photo finish.
Yeah, not only that, but first off, I want to say a 45 for both players in a race is exceptional. I mean, that's top tier to me. To me, 45 and better is top tier. So not only did they both get, excellent pro time, but Cutie did it with a route that's 2 minutes slower. Like, that is insane. Like,
this is absolutely insane. And like you said, no one could ask for any more. Can you get better entertainment at this late in the tournament? I submit you cannot. Cutie getting the better in-game time as old route does save a little bit in-game time if I'm not mistaken. But wow, that was incredible. And we've got our runners here. They'll be joining us for post-game commentary at some point. We think ARealCutie has the win, but
yeah, we're gonna say ARealCutie is the apparent winner for now. I'm pretty sure I remember saying at the beginning that they were synced on the intro and the timers were synced. It may have come down to less than a second, but we're gonna say ARealCutie. We're gonna call it for ARealCutie as the apparent winner. But just because this is elimination, I'm sure someone's gonna have to retime it. I'm not. Hello. I can't. Welcome. What do you feel about that race? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was close. I knew it would be close going in because Cutie is so consistent. And he was doing old routes, so he probably wouldn't die. But yeah, I think skip that was the end for me once I missed the skip.
That's what I said when you entered tour, and I said Feral might have to actually get baby skip to maintain the lead.
Yeah, and I saved it as well. I was just nervous because at the start I messed up and bonked, and I actually got it, and I should have been fine from there, but the nerves just got to me, and I messed up at the end. So it's a shame.
Baby skip is rough.
Congratulations to Cutie. I hope it made a good watch. Cause...
I hope so
Yeah.
too.
Insane times to begin with for both you runners, and it just happened to be one of the best races I think we'll ever see.
Yeah, I forgot to stop
in
my
this
timer
entire
as well.
game.
Was it 45:17 or something? I think I got.
I honestly
It might
was
be
paying
more than that.
attention to who finished third.
I think chat knows.
We think it was about a 1 second difference. So I mean,
I think Cutie, you guys were synced at the start. You actually started at the. You guys started at the same frame, and I believe Cutie entered the ship a second ahead. That's why we're saying Cutie's the apparent winner. The restreamer doesn't know how to retime it, but I'm pretty sure it was by about a second.
I assume Cutie won, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I want to talk to you, Feral. What did you think about this tournament and your experience in it?
It was good. I messed up right at the start in the first one. Well, I didn't mess up. It was I got chain damage from Dragon, and that put me straight in the losers. So that was that was a shame, but it's been fun. I'm glad I took part.
I'm glad that you had fun. There's definitely going to be more of these.
Can I just say congratulations to Kit for beating Zeus, because that's incredible.
Yeah.
I said it was going to happen. I called it. Sorry, Zeus.
It's the curse of Kip. Yep.
Yeah, Kip is my guy. We commentate sometimes. I a grinder. But Zosty still in the losers bracket, still has a chance to go all the way. Cutie, how you feeling about that race? I think that was an exceptional time. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was doing really well at the start, and then as I went down to Retro Brinstar, I got a phone call from my mother, and I missed one earlier in the day, so I figured I should probably pick it up. The climb is a lot harder when talking on the phone. I'll tell you that much.
Wow. Yeah, that's you lost about 10 to 15 seconds there, maybe a little more, or else it wouldn't have been that close at the end.
I mean, you could say that about any mistake that anyone makes in a race, right? So you can't really make an excuse for that, right? So it's not an excuse.
Yeah,
it's just something funny. It's just something funny that happened. But,
I think you held it together.
It was an interesting race. I definitely made a lot of really uncharacteristic mistakes I usually don't make. Like Red Tower was just, and the down grab's free, but I usually just make some. My blood's still pumping. Sorry.
We just checked the clip here. You guys did both. It looks like you technically both clocked a 45:18. So we do think, Cutie, you had gone into the ship first, but if this was a deer tier time, you guys would be tied. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. It seemed that Cutie won, but I don't. You guys caught me in a funny situation here. Cheese is telling me that it was a 1 second. There's a 1 second difference, but I feel like you guys started at the same time as well. Cheese is saying, according to him, Cutie ended on a 45:17. That's what on the frame it.
Oh, that could be when he ended, right? Not when you clocked the timer. So.
Yeah, the timing stops when Samus gets in that standing
as soon as Samus faces forward, that's when it.
Yeah. Cheese verifying. So. Yeah, Cheese verifying that even though you clocked in late, Cutie, you did actually get there first. So, sorry to make it seem like there was going to be a retime. We just wanted to cover our bases, but we did call you the apparent winner.
I'm happy for Cutie to get the win.
Yeah. You both should be happy
at getting into the ship at the end.
Yeah, that was the most insane race ever. Definitely congrats to both of you runners for being able to put up times like that in a race setting, especially with this game where anything can go wrong at any time.
Yeah, thanks for the race. It's been probably my favorite race I've done so far.
Feral, what time you got over in your neck of the woods?
It's like 5 to 2 in the morning.
Do you think does that affect your playing at all? Do you think?
Yeah, I'd say it does, but not majorly so. You just find yourself because I woke up early this morning as well, just daydreaming at parts, like going into auto mode as such, like, and the game just plays itself in certain parts, and then you wake up for the boss fights, and kind of
Yeah,
like
that's a little having Fantoon 10 minutes in is a little bit stronger than coffee, I would say.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, my early game wasn't so good, but then looking at my splits, I did save a bit of time at points. So.
Well, we definitely appreciate you guys being so flexible over there on scheduling races. So huge shout outs to all you foreigner, European runners, I should say.
Oh yeah,
They have to-
absolutely. This
Yeah.
really short notice. They wanted this round of losers to be either today or tomorrow, and I have a final tomorrow, like at 6.
Good luck
So,
for that.
Yeah.
it basically had to be today.
Oh, well, definitely shout outs to, you guys being able to schedule that. Cutie, I want to ask you, how does it feel that you're going up against Lynx in the next round?
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I play better than I did today. I'm gonna have to beat him, I think. He's a very, very solid runner, but I definitely don't think it's an unwinnable matchup, that's for sure.
Honestly, yeah, you have a chance. If you're able to beat Feral, Feral, a very good runner. Definitely follow Feral on the grind for 42, which is an insane time. And follow Cutie as well while we're at it. Both, insane runners. But I feel like you have a good shot as anybody, Cutie, is what I was going to say.
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily happened yet. Hopefully one of these days the quote consistency of my route will help a little bit.
Consistent you were.
I could definitely see you pulling off a 44. I mean, if it wasn't for that climb, you probably could have gotten a 44 today.
Oh, yeah. I
say.
pulled off a 44 against floaters without the baby skip, so it's definitely in my wheelhouse to be able to do it. But it's hard to do. You got to play really well to get a 44 with grade first, and you got to play really well the whole time. So
yeah, definitely a huge shout outs to both of you runners. Being able to grind this game to where you can pull off times like this in a race setting. Yeah, thank you both for being in this tournament.
Yeah,
I appreciate it a lot. It's been fun.
Shout outs to Vi for sponsoring this tournament. Huge shout outs to them for sponsoring this tournament. Exclamation point bet in the chat. You can bet on the runners. Just wanted to throw that in there. And anything you want to say, Feral, before we end?
No, just good luck for the next race, Cutie.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Lynx actually was the one that knocked me out of the last tournament we held. I was ahead by about 30 seconds, and then I died in bowling.
Oh yeah, no, I got knocked out of the last tournament we had because I didn't make it out of groups because Zost didn't show up for a race.
So, I remember that. Yeah.
Instead of winning it, I mean, there was a match I lost that I should have won. So it's entirely my fault.
It became a tie, didn't it?
Yeah, if Zost shows up and wins as he's expected to, there's a tiebreaker that my average time was like minutes faster than anyone else other than Zost in that group. But I mean, it was my fault for losing that one race that I should have won anyway. So it's just funny to think about. That's why.
Well, you're back.
We did discuss that as well, yeah.
You're back.
And the good thing is that everyone has improved since then. So like the competition's got harder.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely been a lot of fun. Everyone's really good.
Yeah, and there's money on the line thanks to Vi. It's a whole new look at tournaments. Not only for glory. So you got a chance for redemption here.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great race.
Looking forward to losing respect for Super Metroid runners one race at a time.
Oh, shots fired.
No, I'm kidding.
Wow, what a race! Coming down to a second. That is insane.
I definitely need to watch this one back. So.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be one to watch. A VOD for the ages for sure.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. That was really entertaining. Thanks to my co-commentator, Adam. I appreciate the chance to be on, to watch these two great runners. Thanks, chat, for being amazing. Best of luck.
best of luck to both of you runners in your future. Definitely, I want to let the chat know how this grind is insane, and definitely follow the runners. If you're looking for someone to watch, grind this game and some good entertainment. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and have a great night.